All right, so I do have a yoga block out today. Not absolutely necessary, but might come in handy. The main pose focus is extended side angle. So all month long, we've been working with pretty familiar standing poses with the overall mantra intention of like starting anew and remembering that each time we do come to the yoga mat, we can see the poses and the practice as a beginning. I laugh because yesterday I was listening to what's currently probably my favorite podcast. I play it immediately when I see it come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays with Glennon Doyle. And it's with her sister and her wife called We Can Do Hard Things. So that's, of course, one of my mantras. And I really love listening to what Glennon, Abby, and Amanda have to say. And I was just rolling over in laughter as I was making dinner for my kiddos yesterday. They were like, here's some holiday hacks to get you through. And the third reminder was like, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when you're with family and your brother says that homophobic thing, the aunt says the racist thing, the mother-in-law comments on your weight, that, so-and-so asks, why aren't you married yet? All of the things that come up repeatedly. And we could also flip that around to the positive. I'm just picking on things they were saying that were making me double over in laughter, because I treat things always as if it's the first time, and I get really jumbled and lost often when I'm with family and around the holiday season, because I'm pretending like I don't know what's about to happen. But these are patterns that always happen. They haven't changed. I haven't changed. We just see them come up in different ways. And so then I was sort of like going back to what we're doing in the practice this month and saying like, it's a new beginning, just like whatever comes. And there's truth to that. There's like truth to being open, but there's also so much power in the knowledge of what we do know. So extended side angle, don't be surprised when like the right side is easier than the left side. Don't be surprised when you can't get your arms straight or you can't get the hand down to the floor. But how can you work with that, perhaps in a different light? I think that's where we're going with this. All right. So nice, comfortable seat. Close the eyes for a moment or turn your gaze low. Step into the breath. I almost always have a catch and a tightness at the very top of my breath. I can acknowledge that and work with it in a way that still sees this inhale as a new opening. One more full breath like that. We'll get moving today by lifting the arms up to the sky. Lift your arms up, open your eyes, look up. And then take the right hand down by your side, reach up and over, big side body reach. Inhale, come across the center and do it to the second side. Take that sway with your breath a couple of times. So inhale, lift. Exhale, reach to the side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach to the second side. Do that 2 more times, side to side. Keep going. And then the next time both arms are up into the air, fold over the center. Stay in a cross-legged seat or move into a cross-legged position with one leg in front of the other. So this becomes a stretch along the spine and a bit in the outer hip. And then come back upright and take the other leg in front and fold over again. Reach forward. All right, and then we come back up and change to all fours. Once we're in all fours, do cat and cow, easy back and forth. The inhale, drop the belly down, pull the chest forward, eyes and tailbone to the sky. On the exhale, press down through the hands and knees, round the back and drop the head. Just tapping into movement that you know, probably reactions from the movement that you're familiar with, and asking what story needs to hold today. Okay, and then we'll change to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. And downward facing dog, pedal the feet. And then look between the hands and step the right foot forward into your long, low lunge. So keep stepping until you've got that full stride. Always knee over ankle, fingertips in line with the toes. Sway back and forth, straighten and bend the front leg. This is perhaps the first time that maybe bringing a block, if you're feeling like you need a little more space, a little tighter, under the hands to the inside of the foot can be helpful. And then stay, right knee over the ankle and the bend. Take the right hand high into your twist. And then bring both hands to the inside, Skandasana here. So if both hands are into the, far to the inside of your foot, rotate in the legs so you see the long side of your mat and try to sit down into the hip. I'm using my hands to really help me, letting the right heel lift off of the mat a bit so that I can get a stretch through the left inner thigh, groin in particular. Butt could stay higher with the feet flat if that works best for you. And then rotate back around the right foot, hands on either side, and set the left knee down to the mat. Now we're going for a quad stretch. Pull the left heel in towards the hip. Right hand to the thigh, look over the right shoulder. I'm getting plenty of quad stretch here. You could stop there or reach back and try holding on to your foot to pull it in a little tighter. All just a piece of the warm-up, so do what feels all right for you at this moment. Excuse me. And then we release it all and take it back to downward facing dog. Okay, here on the second side, step the left foot all the way through to the long, low lunge. And taking the hands, perhaps on some height to the inside to make it easier. Straighten and bend the front leg. Lift and sway through the hips. This can be as fast, as slow as you'd like. And then we'll stay with the bent knee and take it into your twisted lunge. Left hand up to the sky. Left hand to the inside of the foot. And again, I'm going to walk the hands like way off to the right long edge. And then twist through the feet to sit down towards Skandasana, that lateral lunge. This is a pose that looks different to me throughout an hour of practice. First time around, like really put some weight into your hands. Don't leave it all to the legs to decide what works here. And then you'll come back around to the regular low lunge. Set the right knee down, pull the right heel in. Walk the left hand up to the left thigh. Look over your left shoulder. Again, perhaps stopping there, or reach back, hold on to the foot, and pull it in. Okay, slow release of the back foot and step it all the way backwards to down dog again. Take the feet as wide as your yoga mat and the hands a little shorter. So walk the hands in like about a hand print. So you have a short, wide, downward facing dog. Allow more space. Try to root the heels all the way flat down against the mat now. A little more room across the low back. A good stretch through the hamstrings, back of the legs there. Change to a squat. Look forward to your hands and now walk your feet to the outside of your hands. Turn the toes out a little to a lot and sit as low as possible. You can sit with a little bit of weight on the arms, almost like you're trying to go towards Bakasana, towards crane pose, to kind of take some of the pressure away. But if this one's okay, take the arms out enough that you can lift the chest and no hands on the ground. Good old Malasana. Use the hands to help you safely come up to standing. Roll it up to standing. Top of the mat if you're not already there. Sun salutation. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. I'm going to make these a little different today. Keep the right foot forward. Step the left foot back into your lunge. Set the left knee down, lift the arms up to the sky as you take a breath in. Lower the hands down either side of the front foot and step to plank. Lower down to the mat. Peel the chest up for cobra. And then downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, left knee down, inhale, rise up. Lower the hands on either side of the front foot. Step the left foot forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift, forward fold. Stand up, reach both arms high. Right back into it. So from here, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Now it's left foot forward, step the right foot back, set the back knee down, curl the hands up, keep them there, or add arms overhead. Lower the hands, step back to plank, lower down to the mat, cobra, downward facing dog. Left foot forward into the low lunge, back knee down, arms up. Exhale, fold, hands back down. Step forward, both feet to the front. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold. Stand up, arms to the sky. Keep going. Let's find a little rhythm, warmth through the body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Right foot forward, step back. Left foot, back foot down. Back knee down. Getting my words all jumbled. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands down, step to plank. Lower to the mat. Cobra, peel the chest up. Exhale, down dog. One breath. Right foot again, step it forward. Lunge with hands up, back knee down. Fold the hands either side of the front foot, step forward. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand up, arms to the sky. One more time to even things out. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Left foot stays forward. Step back to your lunge. Lower the knee. Lift the arms. Exhale, hands beside the front foot. Step back. Plank pose. Lie on the belly. Cobra, peel the chest up. Downward facing dog, lift the hips up, take a full breath. Step the left foot forward, back knee down, arms up. Lower the hands, step forward, half lift, fold over, stand, arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Pause here. Notice breath, body, a little warmer, a little elevated heart rate. We'll carry that with us. Right into balance pose, good old tree pose. Take your right foot onto your left leg. Go above the knee if it works today. Point the knee as far out to the side as you can. The toes down to the floor. Try to stand in one line with the ears, shoulders, hips, towards the back of the foot, all in line. Arms overhead, lift up. Try palms together here. Cross at your thumbs. Don't be too surprised if the arms don't go straight, because they never have, but make the arms as straight as you can from there. The effort is full. Then release the hands and release the foot down. And switch sides. Take the left foot onto the right leg, or whatever is your second side. Actively press your heel into the leg. Again, take it high onto the thigh today if possible. Knee out, toes point down. Arms overhead. So we take what the first side teaches us, put it into how that Evolves in the second side, palms together. Take the other favorite thumb in front as you cross the thumbs to give a little more power into that lift of the arms. Good, good, good. Lower the hands, lower the leg. A little bit of a shake here. Let's take some big hip circles. Right knee goes in, around, and down. Right leg, I should say, in, around, and down 3 times in one direction. And then change the direction, kind of from the outside in 3 times. Good, and then change and do it on the second leg. Doesn't really matter which direction you go in. Most will go from the inside out first, and then you try it the way that feels a little funkier for the second 3 circles. We have lots of good hip rotation today. From the front of the mat, lift the arms back up to the sky. Utkatasana, sit down in chair pose, fierce pose. Here in Utkatasana, stay feet flat and try to sit a little bit lower. Take the hands more at shoulder height instead of above the line of the head and see if that helps you sit a little bit lower. Less back bend to ask there. And then gaze fingertips more down towards the ground, and can you still sit a little bit lower? Get that hip flexion, knee flexion, ankle flexion, all having to work. Stand all the way up. Now keeping arms overhead, go back to it, bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Focus on staying upright in the torso now. Bring the mid-low ribs towards the hips, belly button back towards the spine. Eagle pose, cross the right leg on top of the left. The higher you can cross along the upper inner thighs, the more room it might give you to swing your right foot behind the left calf. And then take right elbow under the left. Hold to shoulders for most ease. Back, front of the palms, a little more challenge. Do you squeeze everything strong towards the midline? Unwrap the right leg and send it back into a lunge. So arms stay as is. Step your right foot back. Keep squiggling back until you're in your full stride. Take in a breath. Touch your elbows down to that left knee. Warrior 3 with the arms still in eagle pose. Slide the back foot in until the weight is on the left leg and lift your right leg off of the mat. Stand up on 2 legs. Finally, unwrap the arms, send them high to the sky. Goodness, stay with me. Bend the knees, sit into the thighs. Utkatasana. Again, we're going with the lifted spine here to start us out. Everything on the second side. Cross the left leg over. Eagle. Again, the higher we can get that cross, sometimes it takes a few attempts for me. Have enough leeway with the back bottom foot, left foot to wrap behind the right calf. All right, left elbow under. Hold shoulders front to back of the palms. Step the left foot behind you into a lunge. So high lunge, right foot forward, left foot back, arms still in eagle. Strengthen the torso, elbows down to the knee, hinge forward. Slide the weight into the right foot until the left foot can lift off. Warrior 3 with a lot of bend in that right leg. And step the foot beside the right foot, both feet to the ground. Come upright. Unwrap the hands, lift them up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Nice job. Step it all the way back to downward facing dog. Give yourself a little time to breathe right there. From downward facing dog, lift the right leg up into the air, three-legged dog. Good, pull the knee into the chest and hover forward. And then step it all the way through for your regular low lunge. We're used to being here, settle with it for just a moment. Take both hands to the inside of your foot. And this is a good time if you've got your yoga block to slide it underneath your hands so you're on that little bit of height. Okay, so with the right hand on the height of a block or down on the floor, left hand comes to your waist. Here I want to rotate the back foot a couple of times up and back. So rotate the back heel down like you're in warrior 2 with the right hand down, and then lift it back up. Rotate back to where you started. We're going to do that 2 more times. So working on the mobility in the hips. Back heel down, open the hips to the side. Lift the back heel up. What are you having to do to help you balance and control in the abdomen? And then one more time, hips can lift. So we're not grinding too low as you spin the back heel down. Now stay here, lined up about heel to heel. Bottom hand, if you're not using a block and it's on the ground and that's gotten too low, pop it on up, elbow to your knee. If you've got the height of a block and it's working for you, please stay there. All right, now we're using the left arm up and around like extended side angle, but then we're going to swing it back towards the hip. So you're making like a rainbow shape up and around, and then swing it down, up and around, and swing it down. Both hands can return to the inside of your foot, pick up the back heel, spin, step back to plank position, so you're getting rid of that block so you can step back to plank. And lower to the mat, cobra, and downward facing dog. So we're thinking more about mobility and extended side angle here for this piece of the pie. Lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest, hover forward, and step it all the way through. Regular old low lunge. Bring both hands to the inside. Again, pop it up onto yoga block. And now we're just working on back leg. Take the right hand to the waist. That already brings you with a little bit more need to control and balance, strengthen in the core. Okay, spin the back heel down, open up the hips to the side, press through the back foot each time as you do this. And then pick up the back heel and rotate to look back at your left foot. Do it 2 more times. So the hips need to lift enough that this isn't grinding right on down, femur bone into hip socket. We feel a little more lifted and stretched out, if you can imagine that space in the hip and socket. And lift and spin down. Lift the heel, rotate, look at the left foot. One more time, spin the back heel down. We're going to stay there. Hand stays on the block or can pop up, elbow to knee. And now changing focus to the top right hand. It's going to lift and rainbow all the way around, full extended side angle. And then just the hand moves and goes back down towards the right leg. Do it 2 more times. Inhale, rainbow the arm up and around. Exhale, back down. 1 more time, rainbow the arm up and around. If you have limitations in the shoulders, upper back, that one's for you, but it's for all of us to stay low in the hips without thinking too much more about it. Okay, pick it all back up around to your low lunge. Block out of the way so that you can get to plank. Lower to the mat. Cobra. And downward facing dog. Walk the hands backwards to your feet so you get to do a good old ragdoll pose. Really hang here over the body. Hold on to the elbows, let your knees bend, sway from side to side. And come on up to standing. Okay, nicely done. Let's take a wide stance on the yoga mat here. Keep the block handy anytime you want to implore it to make the floor lift up a little bit higher. So wide stance, point the toes straight ahead, heels straight back, extend the arms out in either direction. All the good things we know. I'm going to try to mirror y'all now. Turn the right toes out, look out over the right fingertips, and bend the right knee for warrior 2. All right, so similar to what we were just doing with the arm, except we're going to move our entire upper body, elbow to knee, top arm palm down overhead, and then come back to warrior 2. And do it 2 more times. Elbow to knee, top arm, palm down overhead. And upright. Feel free to take it lower, fingertips to block or floor as you extend over. And come upright. All right, come over and stay. Try fingertips to block or floor now. Top arm way overhead. Hips, shoulders open towards the side. Lean the head back as if it's into a pillow right behind you to stay open for this experience. And plant as much weight into that back leg as you did when you were moving back and forth so that you can bring yourself safely back upright. And straighten the right leg. Turn the toes to the second side. Gaze out over the fingertips. Bend the left knee. So we're trying to stay pretty stationary from the legs down and just moving the upper body. Elbow to knee, top arm palm down overhead. And this is with the flow. Lift back up. Elbow to knee or reach further. And upright. 1 more time with the flow. Elbow to knee, fingertips to the ground. And upright. And go for your lowest reach. Elbow to knee, hand to the block or a floor. Left arm strong overhead. Keep the shoulders, hips open to the side. Lean the head back. Stretch, stretch, stretch. The more that you stretch and reach, the right arm overhead. Push into the right pinky toe. So there's a good balance and strength and stretch. And come all the way back up. Left leg straight, turn the toes parallel to one another. You should be ready to let the arms go. Heel toe the feet in and shake it out. Come stand at the back end of your mat. Keep working this angle today of thinking mobility as our first entry point. Lift your left knee up and into the chest and step as far forward as you can into a high lunge. If you need a little more give in the knees, just set it down and slowly step it out. If you've got that one big giant step, go for it. Okay, so we're going to put kind of both pieces of the pie together in this mobility. Lift the arms overhead. As you spin the back heel down and it sets through warrior two, you're going to go right into your side angle pose. As soon as you get there, you come back up and pick up the back heel, rotate in the hips to your high lunge. If you need to take it slower, if you need to watch, feel free. Try this movement about 3 times through. It can feel a little more herky-jerky or a little more smooth. All of it taking in the knowledge of how your body moves, but also the newness of how it's moving today. Next time you find yourself in your full extended side angle, I want you to stay there. Left hand down, right arm overhead. Now notice what this top shoulder is doing. Look down at your left foot. Frame the shoulders to look more down to the floor. And then just opening that top shoulder, lean back, open to the side. Look down at the floor, top shoulder moves down. Lean back, open up, look under the top arm. This time as you look down, place both hands to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands backwards to your feet. Slowly roll it up to standing. Okay, this should be our second side. Lift the arms up, right knee up and into the chest. Take your giant step forward or a few steps to get into your high lunge. All right, so we're taking that full movement. Open to warrior two, right into side angle. Soon as you reach your low point, you come back to your highest high lunge point. Try it about 3 times through in the flow. Warrior two, side angle. Warrior two, high lunge. High lunge to warrior two, into side angle. Warrior two, into high lunge. Stay in side angle next time you find yourself there. Right fingertips as low as they're going for you today. Left arm overhead. Okay, now it's just that top shoulder that we're thinking about. Look down and rotate the left shoulder down towards the right toes. And then open back up. Do take notice, I say, the big movement here is in that top shoulder, but how is the rest of the body moving around it, with it, compensating or not? Back and forth, and stay open. And look down. Step to plank pose. Lower down to the mat. Let's take cobra. And this time into child's pose. Push back, sit hips to your heels. Change to sit down onto your butt and extend your legs straight out in front of you. Place your right foot, like it's in tree pose, against the left leg. This is that strong external rotation in the right leg. And then reach and try to hold on to your left toes. If your hands don't reach your toes, mine don't today, I just leave them on either side of the leg on the ground. Totally fine. Come back upright in the torso, fold the right knee in, step over, and then take a twist. Hold the front of your shin, or you can go elbow to the outside of the thigh, whichever works. Okay, inhale and come back to your center. Now take that very same leg back to your tree pose. And now the left leg, take it more out to the side. So you're like in a half straddle. Okay, reach your left hand towards your left big toe, maybe grip around it. And then the free arm up and overhead. Reach towards the sky, or even both hands over towards that outstretched leg. Yeah, try to keep your chest open though, like you do in side angle pose, so it's not both hands down, shoulders down. Keep open and lean back. Okay, so this is funky. Watch me a little bit. We're gonna change our weight to pick that leg up now and still reach up and over. In a perfect world, I'm like connected. It's all through in compass pose. But I'm trying to keep that open chest work the whole time like we've worked in today. So probably hands won't connect. That's okay, because we know what we know. And then set both feet together. Soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana and fold over. My brain clicked into that. I know this. I've seen this pose, but I can't figure out what it is. How much does that happen when we gather? But then just breathe and lean in. Okay, bring the torso upright, knees in. We're going to try all of that on the second side. So remember, it started with things we're super familiar with, like tree pose. Left foot against the right thigh now, sit up tall. And then fold over, hold on to the foot if it's accessible, or just hands down. And bring the torso back upright and take the twist. So the left foot crosses over the right. Hold the front of the shin to take the twist and look over the left shoulder here. Elbow can cross to the outside of the thigh if you'd like. A little more depth in the twist there. And on an inhale, come back to the center. So here's where things are mostly familiar, but we start to change it up a little bit. You go back to that tree pose. Left foot stays as is, but swing the right foot more out to the side. So you're in a half straddle. End up pointing the folded in foot instead of flexing. Reach the right hand to try to wrap around the right big toe. The other hand goes up and around, still like a rainbow line, so we're not closing the shoulders down. We did that at the end in extended side angle, but I want you not to do that. Keep open, look more up towards the sky, both shoulders lean back. And then you're going to keep that direction of the chest. Pull the right leg in enough that you can get the weight into the left side. And still try to reach up and over. Doing this because there's nothing perfect about the way that we're asking to go into the pose, yet we're holding enough strength, integrity about what we know in the core to somewhat make the semblance of the pose that's going to work for now. And then release it all. Soles of both feet together. And fold over, Baddha Konasana. Body comes back to that warmth of knowing. Bring it back upright, knees in. Lie down onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest here. Roll the knees around like a rowboat. Out and around to the sides. And we'll take it in the opposite direction. Soles of the feet on the mat. Take the feet as wide as your yoga mat. Arms like goalposts or goddess arms. Bend at the elbows here on either side. Windshield wiper the feet or the knees. Knees go over towards the right. Back to the center and over towards the left. Back to the center, go to the right and stay. Fold the left knee close to the right foot, or take the right heel on top of the left outer thigh. Two more breaths like this. Then release the right foot down, knees go up and over to the second side. First resting foot and knee close to one another. Keep it like that, or take the left heel to the outside of the right thigh for a little more pressure. And left foot comes back down, both knees across the center. Hug just the right knee into your chest. Extend the legs straight up to the sky. Hold anywhere from behind the thigh, behind the shin, or to the heel. Nice stretch. Right hand to the outside of the right foot. Bend the knee a lot. Half happy baby. Kind of lean towards the right side to try to get the right thigh flat onto the ground, or as close to the ground as it'll go for you. Extend the left leg straightish along the mat. And left arm up overhead. Not to the sky, but like overhead behind you on the ground. That's your extended side angle, lying down onto the mat. Walk yourself out of it. Soles of the feet on the mat. We're on our second side here. Left knee comes into the chest. Hug it tight. And then extend the legs straight. Again, hold behind the thigh, the calf, or towards the heel. And then change to that half happy baby. Hold the outside of your foot, bend the left knee. Let your hips sway and fall towards that left side a bit. My right seat is definitely off the mat as I do that. But then to kind of adjust back towards center as you straighten and stretch the right leg towards the mat. That left thigh is going to come pop up probably from the ground, even out more through the hips. And then send your right hand up and overhead. Big full body stretch here. And come out of it, pull both knees into the chest. One last bit of movement here, supine. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Point the knee out to the side. And fold the left leg into your chest. We're going to do eagle pose one more time. Lying on our back though. So right knee crosses all the way over, squeeze the feet towards each other, send the right elbow under the left, open the knees and elbows a little bit away from each other until you find that core pulsing back with tightness and strength. Hold your eagle pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwrap yourself. And then left ankle on top. Point the left knee out to the side. This figure 4, thread the needle. Again, you can pull the bottom leg in, thread the arms through. Fold the left knee over. Come into your eagle pose, left elbow under the right. And unwrap. Just give yourself a little squeeze there, and I'd ask, make any last little movements, big movements that you'd like before finding your final relaxation for this practice. Final relaxation being our still pose, Shavasana. You can take that lying back or take a seat of meditation instead. Allow yourself one more minute of rest and release. And then as you're ready, make your way back to a seated position. There's no rush here. If you want to take a little more time lying back in stillness, please do. And here, as we find our seat, we are together on the day before Thanksgiving as we move into the holiday. Perhaps as you gather with family, with friends tomorrow, I ask that you also give remembrance to our complicated history, honoring our Indigenous people. For those of us here in the DC area, we are on the stolen land of the Piscataway tribe. I'm a member myself of the Choctaw Nation. My grandfather, Native American of Choctaw ancestry, and my Irish grandmother, the Irish were taken in, Protestant Irish were taken in by the Choctaw people that knew when they were sent away from their home, they needed a place to be, and they took them into their reservation in Durant, Oklahoma, and yada yada, gave me my heritage of Choctaw and Irish on that side of the family. Always important to remember how we all come, honoring that as well as, eating yummy food tomorrow. Take the palms together, thumbs to the sternum. Let's give a little thanks for each in this gathering today and sending that out. We'll close in the sound of Om. Empty out the breath. Take the breath in. Namaste. And of course, here we are honoring Indian heritage through